It's good music. It is good music. I have to admit, it is good music. That's what I love about the anime we've been watching recently. The music is very nice. Very nice. Episode 47, 4 to go. And I know a lot of people are like, watch it all, watch it all, watch it all. No, I want to take it. I want to enjoy it. I want to digest it. I want to discuss it. I want to meme it. I want to have fun with it. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to enjoy it. That's how I do things. Otherwise, I won't appreciate it. That would suck. I want to enjoy it. That's the whole point. So let's take our time. Let's have fun with it. Yeah, let's enjoy it. Episode 47. Whew, here we go. Don't rush it. Make it special. What is this, the first time we have sex? They had to postpone the invasion for a few months and they didn't bring clothes because in the first month they were steamrolling the Russians. Here's the thing about the blitzkrieg. It wasn't Hitler's idea. First thing. So when they realized the campaign wouldn't last more than a few months. Yeah. There's a few issues with that. But the thing about the blitzkrieg was it was pitched to Hitler. And he said it was a stupid idea. And then one general took his tank battalion and blitzkrieged through the forest and caught the British command post off guard and literally caught them at breakfast. Literally took them prisoner at breakfast. They just like blitzkrieged through the line, went straight to the command post and caught the entire chain of command while they were having breakfast. Off guard, because no one ever thought a bunch of crazy Germans with tanks would do that. You know, it's the original Zuckerrashby. You know, even before Stalingrad was a thing. And Hitler, being the fucking show pony that he was, declared, "This was my plan all along." And so he started implementing blitzkriegs fucking everywhere. Because, you know, why not? And so they blitzkrieged into freaking Russia. You know, they stretched their supply lines a lot. They brought in their tanks and their vehicles and whatnot that are not built for the Russian winter. And then they started slaughtering all the villagers and peasants and people that they could. Now here's the thing. The villagers and the peasants, they fucking hated Stalin. They were starving. Because Stalin was seizing food and crops. So they were starving. And along come the Germans, repelling the Soviet forces, thus liberating the people. And instead of befriending them and allying with them, who would have turned against Stalin, Hitler decided, let's fucking kill him. So what did? They fled. Or they provided resistance. So instead of Russia literally building momentum and increasing their supply line and supplies and troops as they invaded into Russia, they were met with resistance at every turn. With no supply lines, no knowledge of the land, no preparation, nothing. And it came back to bite them in the ass. So I don't care what you had to say, but that invasion plan was flawed from the beginning. On top of that, he didn't have to invade Russia, because at that time, Stalin and Hitler had the little thing when they divided up Poland, and they weren't at war with each other. But Hitler, in his grand wisdom, instead of trading with the Soviets, who by the way were not at war with him at the time, decided, fuck that shit! And decided to invade Russia. Now, you could say he wanted the oil fields, he wanted this, he wanted that. But let's face it, at the end of the day, he was conquering big chunks of Europe, and he was high on the endorphins of, I am the shit. And he thought that he was some glorious, infallible military leader he thought he was Alexander the Great 2.0. And he thought, I'm so top shit, I'm just going to go invade Russia and it's going to go the same way like the rest of Europe. Despite the rest of Europe being unprepared under, stocked and armed and trained due to post-World War One, where everything went to shit. Europe was rebuilding itself. And so he was fighting untrained, undergeared, famished people across Europe. They didn't have the ability to repel a German military force with tanks and rifles and flamethrowers. That didn't make him a military genius. He just, half the countries he conquered, he literally just crossed the border because there wasn't anything to resist with. Russia, on the other hand, well, Slavs in a nutshell, were heavily armed to the teeth and, well, weren't afraid to die. So, when he came in there guns blazing, they returned fire. And he thought, oh shit, they're actually shooting back. What'd you think was going to happen? So, that's on him. That's on him. He didn't understand the people, didn't understand the culture, didn't understand the land, didn't understand the weather. He fucked that. He fucked that. Even if he took the capital, the Russians would have just retreated further north. They could have survived in the -40, -50 degree weather. The Germans couldn't. They don't know how. Because they haven't had to. So they could have conquered the capital. And they would have starved during the winter. Because the Russians would have done the same thing they did last time. They would have burnt it to the ground rather than let an enemy force take it. You know why? Because that's exactly what I would fucking do. And that's what every other pure blood slub would do. They would rather scorch the earth than let another motherfucker have it. So no. It would have been impossible for him to win. Impossible. So much so that Stalin threw everything he had at Stalingrad because of ego. That's the Slav way. He just kept throwing troops at Stalingrad because Stalingrad. Why? Because he fucking could. He didn't give a shit. He is the embodiment of the Slav way. And Hitler was stupid enough to call him on it and play a long, I wouldn't say long, but stretched out game of stupid poker where both sides drained their manpower, bullets, supplies, everything to fight over a hunk of land that was just burnt down buildings and rubble. Why? Because it had the fucking name Stalin in it. It was Leningrad, then it turned into Stalingrad and whatever the hell. Hell, Germany even sent their top sniper of World War II to take out that Russian sniper that was picking off officers in Stalingrad, and even he got killed. The amount of losses they sustained in Stalingrad, just because it's called Stalingrad, is indescribable. They should have sent that one Finnish sniper. The White Death, man, that guy was a beast. He took a bullet to the head, like right here. And he was out for a month and then he went back. He single-handedly stopped an entire Russian division by picking them off from the distance. He didn't even have a scope, so there's no refraction coming from the light. You couldn't pick him off from the snow, and he also had a suppressor. He was White Death. He earned the name. Also, Stalingrad and Leningrad ain't the same city. Wasn't it renamed during the war? It was originally Leningrad and then it was renamed to Stalingrad. Wasn't it? I mean, let's face it. My English was pretty shit during that part of high school, but I'm pretty sure they were the same and then they renamed. I don't know, I'm probably wrong. But you get my point. It was a ridiculous amount of dick waving between two dictators that didn't give a shit about their people. I mean, Stalin used the excuse of loving Russia to kill the Russians, and Hitler used the excuse of loving Germans to kill as many people as he could. They were both dicks. There are three types of people: dick, pussies, and assholes. Stalin was a dick. Hitler was an asshole. And if Stalin didn't fuck Hitler, we'd all be covered in shit. Episode 47, which is episode 21. This guy has one-itis. Oh! All he's missing is the leg pieces and he's got the Beowulf item. See, that's what I would do. See, that is exactly what I did in my nightmare when that lady that asked me whether or not I'm pretty was there. When I had that nightmare in Hutchon's house. Except I threw a fewer through walls and then she tried to run away and so... Anyway, fun times. Did she just cut through the dust? Oh shit, we get a name! You know, I stopped having nightmares because every time I have a nightmare, I kill whatever's in my nightmare. Eventually, I ran out of things to kill. I consider nightmares proper training for real-life scenarios. Good stuff. My subconscious is fucked, man. Roswell is a dick. No, wait. He's an asshole. Because he shits on everybody. And Betty is a pussy. Because she just lets this shit happen. This is really interesting. For some people, and if I can quote a little bit of Lord of the Rings here, but it's not really quoting, but making reference to it. For Betty, she reads what the book says and follows it as an instruction. Whereas if you look at the diary and the book that Bilbo handed over to Frodo, it has a lot of writing in it and a lot of blank pages. But those pages are for Frodo to fill with his own story. It doesn't mean he's supposed to follow with what's written and then it ends. It's the whole difference in frame and way of thinking. It's mind-blowing how one difference in interpretation of meaning can have such a significant impact in a person's life. One is absolute hopelessness and despair, and the other one is endless opportunity and possibility. A single thought. It's nuts. It is absolutely nuts. I'm sorry, but this music that's playing in the background feels so familiar. I can't quite put my finger on it, but the melody sounds similar to something I've heard before. The flute part feels familiar, not the violin. Sorry, I need to reread that again. I didn't actually read the whole thing and interpret it. Give me a quick second. I need to read that again. Did she even give Roswell a book, or did Roswell steal her book? That is the question. Oh! Wow, you've got a real way with women, Subaru. a real fucking way with women. Jesus Christ. Seriously? Wow, you are so delicate. You are so delicate. Wow. Subaru, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck. Fuck. I think he hurt her feelings. Just a tad. You sure he didn't think this through? See, sometimes it's a 50-50 with Subaru. Sometimes he's an evil mastermind, and sometimes he's just an idiot. Because he knows he can just try again. Fuck. I felt that. Huh? Well, this timeline's about to get written off. Huh? Hey, it's Sharkmaid. Damn it. Oh. Oof. Damn. Damn. Ouch. Poor motherfucker. All he's doing is helping these fuckers out and he just keeps getting dropped. Ouch. Ouch. Oh! Why does he have his own category? Oof! Right in the ego. Poor guy. Alright, do you guys want to get out of here before the second assassin turns up? Oh, right, I was going to say Garfield turned into a hippo, but that's okay, he's not a hippo. Funnily enough, hippos are the most aggressive animals in the animal kingdom. The more you know. Wow, she tamed a hippo. Funny story. This man found a baby hippo when, its mother was killed by poachers or some shit, I don't know. Anyway, he raised this hippo for many, many years and eventually was like a big adult hippo, right? And he used to play with it, pat it and whatnot. One day the hippo decided to, decided to bite his leg, drag him in the river and eat him. He raised this hippo since it was a little baby. Hippos, ladies and gentlemen, the most aggressive animals in the animal kingdom. Meanwhile, if you find a little bear cub and raise it, it'll live with your family, it'll play wrestle, it'll even act in Hollywood movies for you. Hippos, on the other hand, don't give a fuck. Little girl's got herself a hippo. Why does evil always come in the form of little girls? I keep telling you, man, little girls are the devil. Please tell me you had a plan for this. Oh yeah, Betty died to these two as well. Well, shit. You know what? We need to somehow find to open the doorway to the White House and bring Joe Biden. He'd be able to handle this girl for us. Seriously, look at the size of those things. Why are you rubbing your face in those things? I mean, do you even know what they're used for? Roswell's room. She named it Rock Piggy. Ugh. Whatever. I mean, is that a reference to a ride-on or what? I mean, there might be an escape room, but do you know how to open it? I mean, that's not bad, right? They're not on our side. Oh no, that is definitely bad. That is definitely not... That's a chimera, isn't it? Ah, shit. I mean, Kuma, what do you expect? She is a kid. She's like a child assassin. I don't recall impregnating any women 8 years ago. How old was I 8 years ago? Okay, what did I do 8 years ago? Oh my god, it was the Marilyn Manson concert. Oh boy. Hmm. Bury the guilt deep within. Wait, what are we doing back here? Oh wait, it comes from here. So now we're gonna get... Oh, okay, cool. We're gonna get more of Ram's plan. Gotcha. Pro tip. Don't do it in the front seat of a car. Do it in the back seat. Okay, I have to share this funny story, but I have to whisper it. I had a I had a Mazda 3, which is that, you know, like 2-liter Mazda hatchback. Anyway, I had to basically sell it. And I sold it, and I forgot what the conversation was. But I think I was on a road trip with Hachan. And then I mentioned something like... It was something about having sex in a car. And I was like... I think we were like on a road trip and we were in a different car and I was like, oh yeah, we can do that. It's like, remember we did it before. And then the death stare she gave me was like, who is she? And I'm like, what? And she's like, we never had sex in a car. And I'm like, oh shit. And then she was like, which car? And I'm like, the one I sold? The death stare. I saw the gates to hell in those eyes. And then it was like, who? It was like, it's before we met. What? I almost died many times. Many times. I think the only thing keeping me alive is that I have decent reaction time and reflexes. Otherwise, I may be dead. Now I just keep my fucking mouth shut. I now just keep my fucking mouth shut. I keep my big fucking mouth shut. What's going on here? This looks like an inn. You know what's fucking me with this theme? This theme is surprisingly similar to the theme that plays in season 2 of Spice and Wolf during the what's it called? Like the memory sequences, the really sad ones. And it's like very similar and it's a memory sequence. And my brain is just getting flashbacks and PTSD. And I'm like, oh God, they're not the same. They're not the same. They're not the same. Son of a bitch. They're not the same. They're not the same. It's just fucking with my head right now. Oh, God damn that choir theme. This is a future? You have to accept that it's not gonna happen? Present. Unthinkable present. So you basically have to accept... Okay. So what's this supposed to do? And like test her resolve about sticking to reality instead of a pleasurable lie? Is this like a temptation to offer a happy lie instead of a bitter truth? You two are like practically married without the goddamn sex. It offends me. I need to save this thumbnail, because awesome thumbnail. But at the same time, I need to save this one because it's going to come in handy when I'm doing thumbnails. Needs to be done. Beautiful thumbnail. Thank you. Can I just say for a minute, this is fucking adorable. Can we all just agree for a minute how fucking adorable this is? Look at those little cheeks. Look at those little... fucking adorable. Anyways, carrying on. Just fuck already. Seriously? Why? He gave you a compliment. Fucking tsundere. Mean-spirited. Family? Oh god, it's the gossip squad. Hey, that's a beautiful waterfall. Hmm. Wait a minute. I'm taking this. No, no, god damn it, not blinking. That's just weird. Yoink. This is going to be an even better thumbnail because it's less spoilery. But it is so clickable. Man, the amount of clicks this thing is going to get. Yeah, I'll rename it later. Who's going to bet that Kumo is going to change the thumbnail again? Accept or reject the present that never was. In Leah's case, she has no choice but to accept. I mean, Echidna's just been a dick at this point. Hello, here's a happy reality that can never be because I'm a bitch. And I want you to see it because I want you to know what you have lost. Because I'm a bitch. Oh, okay, Echidna. So what does this have to do with putting down the barrier? Nothing really, I just wanted to be a bitch about it. I've got this switch in my room and I can turn it on and off whenever I want, but I just wanted to be a bitch about it because I'm bored. It's going to turn out to be right, isn't it? I have a feeling. It's going to turn out to be right. Echidna's just doing this for being a bitch. She is a bitch to Emilia. Well, she's a bitch to Emilia because she's jealous of Emilia. Emilia has the one thing that she wants and can't have, even without trying to get it. That's why she's jealous. She's jealous because Emilia is younger, more powerful, and she's getting everything that she wants. She's a typical MILF in that sense. At the same time, well, I don't know, that about sums it up. Greedy bitch. Just fuck already! What, you think you're gonna do better? He doesn't seem too bad to me. He made sandwiches, he gave you a nice compliment, he's well-mannered, he's good with children. Hell, Emilia's not even his and he's treating her like his. What more do you fucking want? What is she, a priestess or some shit? See, you're already gonna get rumors, so you're already fucked. So you might as well fuck before you get fucked. You know what? I'm gonna do you guys a favor because I know you guys are gonna want that. There you go. Take a screenshot if you want it. But yeah, I'll do it for you. I'll get it in 4K for you. Where the fuck's my mouse? Seriously, where's my mouse? Where the hell's my mouse? Oh god, it's so small. Goddamn fucking 4K. Yeah, I got Emilia's smile in 4K. I'll put it on Discord. Damn it, subtitles, come on, work, damn it. Yeah, you got a miniature nuclear warhead living in the house that could literally blow up half the forest on a whim. Oh boy. And now snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Don't jinx it! You know what's fucked? Purple eyes are literally a thing. Underneath brown eyes are green eyes. Underneath the green is blue. Underneath the blue is silver. Well, grey, technically. And underneath the grey is purple. There's one little kid in China running around with a pair of purple eyes. It's the rarest eye color in the world. Jesus Christ. I've only ever seen 2 pairs of grey eyes. One was on a fairly fine stewardess, if I may say so myself. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. That's how eye color works. Brown is like recessive as fuck and it covers everything else. Whereas green and blue. What about red eyes? I'm not 100% sure. You could look it up. You can actually remove a layer of eyes and reveal the layer below it. So because my father had blue eyes, when I was a little kid, my eyes were actually blue. And then a couple of years later, they started changing color into more green. Now they're more dark green. But if you look at it under certain angles of light, you can actually see that it's a very sort of light green color with a little hint of blue underneath. But if you look at it like this light, it's just green. It's the same way that my hair was like golden blonde when I was a kid. Like gold blonde. Look at it now. Yoink! Wow, I'm getting so many thumbnails today. Which one do I use? I have no idea. That's for future Kuma to worry about. But you know what? He's got an endless supply of thumbnails. Now, go off and die or something, because this picnic scene is disgusting me. Seriously, I've never had this sort of thing growing up. All of our family events turned into, well, shit. So, ugh, get that shit away from me. Gunfights? Well, they occasionally did turn into knife fights, but that's another story. Let's not go into that one. Archie. Ah, good boy Archie. Good boy. Alone? You're fucking perving on them. And you're not being subtle about it either. Why do you look like one of those elves from Lord of the Rings? Oh, it's fucking Echidna, isn't it? Ah, temptation, I see. I think Emilia's ideal present is my idea of hell. Literally, I would feel so out of place in this world. I would probably suffocate from it. It gives me so much discomfort. It's too perfect. I'm like that first iteration of the Matrix. It can't be. It is too peaceful. There's too much peace. There's birds chirping. The grass is green and there's no litter. Something feels wrong. I can't live in such a peaceful place. At least the barbecue then. It just feels wrong. My psyche is too fucked up to exist in such a world. Rem, ideal peace marrying with Subaru is your definition of hell for Kuma. It is. I require adversity and challenge in order to justify my existence. If I am stagnant, I just I don't even know how to describe it. I think I get depressed. I think if there's not something for me that I have to do, I legitimately get depressed. I need to do something. Whether it's work or cook or clean or, defend the border from the Ottomans, it's got to be something. Otherwise, what the fuck am I doing? What am I? Do I even exist? If I am not performing a function in reality, do I cease to exist? If I don't observe progression in some capacity, am I real? It sounds ridiculous, but yeah. Don't worry, Kuma. We will put you in an isolation cell if you get naughty. You do realize if you put me in isolation, I will probably try to headbutt the wall and break my neck and die. I would not last. Being left to my own devices, I would self-destruct. There is nothing I fear more than my own psyche. That's what I literally cannot go 10 minutes without doing something or listening to something. Left to my own mind you don't want that. I don't want that. Don't leave me with me. I am my own greatest demon. I don't fear hell. There's a reason why they won't let me down there. You don't fear capitalist governments and cows. You want in a mental asylum. I don't fear crazy people. They make sense in their own weird way. Anyway. Emilia has unbelievably good fortune. Not in that what happened to her is fortunate, but rather, despite what happened to her, every step on the way, she had people that were willing to sacrifice everything in order to protect her. That is something most people never have. And rarely they even have one, two, let alone three. She has dozens that were willing to sacrifice everything to keep her safe, even now. She is beyond fortunate in that regard, despite her circumstances. Her circumstances are terrible, but she's always had people that cared for her. Whether it be, well, I can only assume that her mother cared for her because we don't actually see how she interacts with her. But I can only assume by resetting Subaru she's doing it in so to protect her daughter, but that's just an assumption on my part and we'll get to that later. But you've got people like Puck, whose sole reason, I assume, for living is to keep her safe. You had, Fortuna, that pretty much acted like a mother. You had Betelgeuse, whatever the fuck, that was a really nice guy. You had this guy whose name I already forgot that seemed really nice to her. And from what I could see in the town, everyone legitimately cared for her or liked her in some capacity and wanted to keep her safe. So her circumstance was pretty fucking good. Yes, it all went to shit, but even then she had Puck. And yes, it is absolutely terrible for a young person to be all alone, and such an isolation does fuck with you. But even then, she had some of the forest spirits as well as Puck. She was never completely without someone on her side. So, even amongst all that adversity, she always had someone. I don't believe she was ever completely alone. Begs the question, would she be able to survive completely on her own 2 feet? I don't know. I'd say she's been tested a fair bit, but she's never been 100% tested. Because the difference between having one person and having none is significant. I say the difference between having none to having one is more significant than between having 100 to 1,000,000. That big zero number where you're all alone, that is absolutely terrifying. Being all alone. That is just... yeah. She had Puck. She had forest spirits. I consider that not the worst thing in the world, even if it's just one person. That's at least something to look forward to. But when you have absolutely no one and absolutely nothing to look forward to, that's when you really see what you're made of. That's when it's just you and you. I guess these trials, in a way, are forcing that confrontation to happen in some capacity. But it does naturally happen in extreme isolation. Which is why isolation is used as a means of torture, and it's against the Geneva Convention. You're not supposed to leave people in isolation for beyond 20 hours. Because it really fucks with you. Really. Now imagine days, weeks, months, years. That's irreparable psychological damage. Irreparable. Forget physical torture. Echidna's therapy trial. I would say Echidna's therapy is effective because at the end of it, I put Echidna's therapy as a psychological version of what Jigsaw does in the Saw franchise. It literally throws you in the deep end and it forces you to swim. So you either drown and wake up on the shore having swallowed water with a little bit of trauma, or you learn how to paddle like a puppy and you make it to the shore. And as a result, you have the confidence to swim. That's the way I'd describe it. But What's the point of it? I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, I don't believe Echidna's doing it because she's a nice person. I find that hard to believe. She has a plan. She has an end game. She even says it. I am a bad person that occasionally does good things. Well, even a broken clock is right twice a day, but 3 trials, what's the point? What's the end game? What is the purpose of this trial? To grant your blessing or something? There's got to be a reason for it. I'm going to find out what. The Geneva Convention is a to-do list. Damn it. Why are death rays illegal in the Geneva Convention? Flamethrowers, death rays, waterboating. Damn it. All the party fun is banned. Excuse me? Is he like your adopted brother or something? See, they know they're being spied on. Stop spying on them! Stop thanking her. It makes her feel weird. See? See how she feels? She feels shit. Because she wants you to feel shit, but you're not feeling shit. Stop playing that dirty mind game, Emilia. Stop it. Because you're winning. And Echidna feels it. Right in the pride. Like that time she tried to get Subaru and she couldn't get him. Right in the pride. She feels it. She feels old. She feels like her ovaries are drying up and no one wants her anymore. Stop it, Emilia. Stop it. Can I meme this? Is this the song? There we go. This is how she fucking feels. This is how she fucking feels. Stop it! Emilia! She's already dead! You've killed her, Emilia! You've already killed her! This is Evil Morty. It's called For the Damaged Coda, and it seems to be by Wee Rabbits. I think this is the original? Yeah, this is the original. Right, sorry. I apologize. I know this will never make it to YouTube. I would do the whole thing where I slowly zoom into her face, but it's never gonna happen. So you get the spirit of what I was trying to do, and this is why we can't have nice things on YouTube. Fuck you, YouTube. Let's continue. They ruin everything beautiful. I can't even meme on goddamn YouTube. For you on YouTube, we memed it. It's on Patreon. Enjoy it there. I'm sorry, but YouTube sucks. Sorry, I want to re-listen to that because you could basically hear. You could basically pause it the moment that Echidna's heart breaks, and here. At that point, you could just feel her heart breaking. Ah, Ralph. You chose me. Lisa, you are a bitch. Okay, memes aside, let us continue. Okay, I totally get it. You understand how to flip something on people. You don't fight it. You don't argue it. Oh, sorry, I apologize. You have mastered the art of the burn. You don't fight what they're saying. You take what they're saying, you spin it and return it right back. Congratulations, Emilia. You have learned how to burn someone. But please stop before Echidna hangs herself or something. Because at this point, I mean, you fucking killed her. She's already dead. Just stop. Stop. She's already dead. Stop. You fucking broke her. You fucking broke her. You literally broke her. She's got nothing left. She's just crying like a helpless little child. Stop it, Emilia. She's already dead. Anything beyond this point is a hate crime. Just stop. She's fucking dead. She's more dead than my classmate. Remember that story I said where she said she would never date me? And she said I had tits, and I said I have bigger tits than you. And then she ended up literally getting breast implants as soon as she turned 18. She's that level of dead. Literally fucking dead. That's how dead she is. Dead on the inside. So dead that she ended up marrying her very first boyfriend because her confidence was entirely crushed and she didn't see any value left in her. Like, fucking dead. My God, you killed her. I feel sorry for her. Well, I don't, but you get what I mean. It's like, you're able to feel. That means there's something human left in you. Somewhere in there. Amongst the saliva and vomit from Roswell, but something's left in there. Jesus. This is the most expressions she's shown the entire series. Crying, sad, quivering, like... I think the fact that we haven't seen her eyes in the past 2-3 episodes just adds to it. Echidna, just... Stop doing this to yourself. Wait, where's my subtitle? Give me my subtitle. Emilia bullying without even noticing. Emilia, stop. You're queen bitch. I crown you queen bitch. Just stop. At this rate, Echidna's gonna stop letting you... I think the fact that Emilia had Puck is probably the only thing that stopped her from destroying the planet. Holy shit, she just realized what I was saying 10 minutes ago. But I legitimately feel the fact that she had Puck is the one thing that stopped her from destroying the world. Because in isolation, her personality could have drastically changed. Because the human body is created for survival. And even if you're alone, the human mind will create balance somehow. Even if it creates other people for itself. Because, yeah, and considering Emilia's raw potential, that is a deadly combination. So, the best thing for the world is to just give Emilia a hug and an ice cream and just hope she doesn't blow us the fuck up. The parallel to Subaru's jump. What would his jump? Feet first? Oh yeah, she just strides out of there. You look like somebody once told you the world is gonna roll you over. Face first? It's called water tension. It'll be like hitting a hard surface. Rock first? I would throw a rock first. Oh wow, that's a parallel and a half from people hating you to people actually semi-liking you. Because you're serving their interests. Well, I guess people deep down only like people that like them. Damn, you selfish bastards. You don't like her, you like what she can do for you. You selfish bastards. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. She needs the support for the royal thing. Doesn't she have enough power to just take the throne on her own? I mean, she's a walking nuclear warhead. She doesn't have enough power? Damn it. Political power matters. Damn it. So you can't just do it the Slav way. Damn it. Have you noticed how every Slavic country is literally run by a Sith Lord? Putin is a Sith Lord. Stalin was a Sith Lord. They're all fucking Sith Lords. And they all betray one another. There is always two. A master and an apprentice. And they keep fucking killing each other. You see, if Reinhard is so... Reinhard. Reinhard. Oh, I'm a child. If Reinhard is so OP, they're lucky he's such a big simp. Because the motherfucker would probably take the throne for himself at any time. But he's too much of a simp to actually do it. Seriously, what is it with people like that? Okay, what the hell? What the hell? Are you a rabbit? Are you a fox? Like, what am I looking at here? Reinhard blocks Slov way. Believe me, the Slov way is a lot more than just simply direct. Plus, let me ask you this. What do you want to rule a kingdom or a pile of rubble? Remember what I said about the Slov way in Stalingrad? And how the Slavs would rather burn the place to the ground rather than let someone else have it? Yeah, I think that answers the question. Fox, eh? You mean like that little handsome boy? Or is that a girl? I do not know. But just look at the fox. Look at the fox, damn it! That is my best purchase of the year. I am so proud of that. I love that fucking fox. Best thing I bought all year. It's like the only thing I bought all year, but like it's the best thing I bought all year. I usually don't buy stuff, but that fox just makes me happy. So basically the Mad King from Game of Thrones. Worse. Because he wouldn't be asking someone else to do it. And he'd be too paranoid to let someone that close to him with a sword. Slav way, it's weak compared to the Nobun Aga way. Aka. What on earth is that? Wait, couldn't technically any one of these people do the trial? So what you're telling me is any one of them could have done the trial, but none of them did. And I gotta legitimately ask. I understand that there's demon people, okay. But who fucked the rabbit? And who fucked the fox? Oh right, there's furries in this anime. I totally forgot. We saw a furry riding a wolf. Let's just continue. My mind is going to weird places right now. Oh god. So, Puck is not at 100% because he only has the mana contained in the crystal. Ram is not 100% because she doesn't have a horn. And Roswell is not 100% because he's still injured. So I guess in a sense that it's semi-fair. It's more a battle of wills rather than a battle of power. And Ram refused to get him by surprise because the way of Lord Shimura and honestly facing your opponent and all that. Why couldn't she just strangle him in his sleep with a cheese wire? Damn, Emilia's going for another one. But aren't you gonna give bloody Echidna a chance to regroup? You're just being cruel now. Think of someone other than yourself, Emilia. Echidna's literally dying on the inside. What are you gonna do now? Fuck her corpse? Jesus, Emilia, give her a break! Or at least buy a dinner or something. My God. At least give us some Gatorade. Electrolytes, damn it. Oh, face the disaster that's yet to come. Here we go. Now we're gonna face the future where everyone's dead. Oh no, how horrible. Oh look, they're all dead. Oh look, I'm responsible for their death. And then you come to the realization that the future is not sad. Bloody, 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 blah. She'll be fine with this one. Hell, if she could accept her past and the thing that could have been, she'll be sure with an unpredictable future. Hell, even Echidna can't predict the future. What's the future? Nobody likes you and you fail in your quest? Boo fucking who? Happiness reflected on the water's surface. Ah, that cliffhanger. I'd like to see a Sloth do these trials. I'm just trying to imagine what my trial would be like. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that would actually be bad. Echidna would actually have access to all my most traumatic memories. And if she was to combine them into one thing, that would probably destabilize me. Where are the subtitles? I can imagine if she was trying to do a difficult trial, she would grab my memories of escaping Yugoslavia. She would grab my memory of crying in the car when I felt that my grandfather died. That's another story. When I felt that my the woman next to me that I regard as my grandmother dying. And also that moment when those puppies were thrown in that bin and I was unable to open it and I could hear them crying from inside. I think the combination of those four things at the same time would fuck me up considerably. But at the same time, I've probably gone through reliving the nightmares so many times, more than I can remember, that I've gone through that trauma so much that the pain is absolutely replaced with anger. And not anger in that I'm upset, but more so raw, unyielding, just fury. Like literal fury. As in, the last time I spoke to the guy that actually did that to the puppies, the woman next door that was my grandmother, I regard her as my grandmother, she died. And I remember seeing him. And he was telling me, and this was all in Serbian, so I'm sort of translating. And he was basically telling me that, you know, oh, he'll miss her. And, you know, I basically went to her grave. I've only gone to the grave once, you know, out of respect and said my goodbyes. I don't go to graves or anything like that because I don't regard that's where the person is. That's more for the dead. I don't do that. I went as a sign of respect once and left flowers and that's it. But it was basically telling me that she loved me as her own grandson and that they basically, they were very jealous because they were teenagers when I was a boy and they were basically jealous how she pretty much basically loved me like them. And they even said once, you love him more than us. And she's like, I love you all the same. You're my grandkids. And my response to him was, I still remember what you did. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I remember what happened when Tsitsa, which was the dog, was pregnant. Because he told the story of Arthur. She's like, she loved you, and like Arthur and everything, who was the dog the puppy that I saved the second time she was pregnant, because you guys know the story. I don't want to tell the story. I said it in Danganronpa Trial 4. I'm not going there. See, I'm already destabilizing. But he basically mentioned Arthur, which is a very soft point for me. Okay. Okay, cool. And my response to him was, I remember what you did. And he's like, what do you mean? It was like, and I basically told him, I remember. I'm like, and if I ever see you again, I literally told him, I said, if I ever see you again, I will literally put your head. And there's basically on the front gate of the property, there's basically like a gate, and it's got these like sort of spikes. And I basically told him, if I ever see you again, I will literally put your head on those spikes. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm basically like, I remember it to this day, and I can still hear the dogs crying. And it's like, you wouldn't do that. And I'm like, I would, because you are not human. So, and after that, never heard from him again. That, in combination with the other memories, possibly, yes. But that's the thing. I don't feel that... See, I feel sad about it, because... I'm sad that I couldn't do anything, but I know at the same time I was completely powerless. I'm more so angry that the world is such a way that in certain situations people are completely powerless to prevent things, and I guess that powerlessness is what has given me that anger, because I've probably gone through that traumatic experience a million times and relived it a million times, that it's literally burned into the back of my mind that I can never forget. I don't know how long I attempted to open the thing. God, I would have tried everything, but I wasn't able to. And it's just that helplessness that turns into raw, blinding rage. But it's also the fact that humans are capable of such cruelty and malice to other creatures. So if you were to put the combination of all those most painful memories together when I was absolutely helpless into one, I would say after knowing myself enough, you would probably get a lot more rage than I currently have, and that wouldn't be a good thing in a trial, no matter who you are, because you wouldn't like what comes on the other side. It's simply that. So, which is why I'm so sensitive against cruelty, because I find cruelty the definition of weakness. That you victimize someone weaker than you. That's the thing. If you beat someone strong, cool, I don't give a fuck. Like, cool, you beat someone strong. But if you're victimizing someone helpless and weak, you're not human. You're a fiend. You're a thing. You're not on my radar as human. So that's where my rage comes from. But I don't feel it towards normal people. But like if you're a child abuser or an animal abuser, or if you're stupid enough to hit an animal in front of me, you're gonna have a bad time. Trust me, you're gonna have a fucking bad time. So yeah. Wondering how those trials would be for me. The first one, would be thing. The second one, for a possible future, I can't even imagine a possible happy scenario with the people from my past, because it's basically impossible given the nature of who they are, because they were not good people. I had some good people, but they naturally passed away because age is a thing. Whereas the people that haven't passed away or might not have passed away, because, my father died of terminal cancer, boo fucking who, he got what he deserved. And my mother is she's not even a parent. I cannot imagine a reality in which there is a happy family setting, because it never existed. There is not a single happy moment I can recall with the two of them together. I can't recall a birthday that was happy. I can't recall a reunion that was happy because there was always something sinister or malicious behind it or some sort of power play that the two of them had. So the second trial wouldn't be a problem at all because that reality would feel fake because I just don't have any, like, I have absolutely no frame of reference for that. Like picnics and shit. I can't think of one time when I was at a picnic that something didn't go horribly wrong and it turned into a traumatic experience. So, no, I cannot imagine that, which is why it feels so odd to me. Which is why I actually hate going to picnics and shit. Hell, I can't even go to the beach without the trauma of stepping on glass and having that shit moved out, and it's fucked up. So that trial wouldn't be bad. And this third potential trial of shit going wrong, I don't think that would be bad either, because I can see the way the world is going, but at the same time, I wouldn't give up the hope and trying to make it a better place. Because unlike being a helpless child, what I was growing up, I actually have the possibility to make differences in the world now because I'm an adult. So why sit there and do nothing and wallow in your own misery when you can make changes? So third trial is going to be an interesting one. That's just me thinking about my own sort of thing with this anime. All right, let me read some comments now that I've finally gotten that out of my head and I can sleep like a baby tonight. If I didn't say that, I would probably be thinking about it in the shower and tonight going to sleep and probably dream about it. So lucky that I got it out here. Otherwise, that would be a bad nightmare. Reason why Emilia says that she doesn't look like Mother Fortuna after seeing her reflection is because Emilia never saw her face, because due to all the discrimination, she started hating her appearance. Puck noticed this, and one of the rules of his contract with Emilia was that she will never look into mirrors, reflective surfaces, or go near any large water body. He also did Emilia's dressing and wardrobe. If you notice, they all added Subaru and Emilia reflection at the end of the ED song to nod to the episode. So she never saw her... Okay, that explains the whole looking at yourself. Okay. 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 I don't think trials are meant to be therapy. Point of trials is to stop people from breaking the sanctuary barrier. Ah, so that's why. I mean, that's the whole reason people are trying to pass the trial is to free sanctuary. People just got additional benefit of therapy while attempting the trials, like overcoming their past. Main purpose of trial is just to prevent someone from disabling the barrier. So what would happen if someone was born into a happy, functional family with loving parents? What would Echidna do then? Would she throw spiders at them or something? Well, that's what Kuma feels the questioning. So good. My mind goes to... When my mind starts to think about something, I could try to suppress the thought process, but it'll continue on its own. So sometimes it's better just to explore the thought and reach the conclusion, get over it, as opposed to having it loop in the background. Because if it loops in the background and you ignore it and you add another one starts looping in the background, and you add another one, 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 and you keep adding these things, eventually your mind is going to get bogged up and cloudy with all this shit, and you're going to spend a long time trying to, empty it. So, best not to let it build up. Subaru was referring to Beatrice trying to break the contract by having him kill her in a past loop. She doesn't need to stay in the library to uphold the contract. She left it in season 1 to see Subaru after he and Rem went to rescue the kids. Yes, and she also left the library to protect Subaru when Ram was trying to kill him. Remember that she is suicidal, so she doesn't plan on stopping Elsa's attack. So she'll patiently wait in the library till she comes. Well, she's devoid of all hope. It's not that she's suicidal in that she will kill herself. It's more so that she's not going to stop someone from killing her, because she doesn't see any point in staying alive. Subaru's second trial was he kept dying. Well, his second trial was seeing the alternative timelines that continued past his death. So he was forced to acknowledge the pain and suffering that he caused to others, which up until now he just wrote off as, well, write-offs. I mean, he dies in a timeline and he's like, well, that timeline's done. I'm back in the past. And I was going like, wait, you mean in that timeline where I killed myself and I made Thingo kill me, they actually feel the emotional trauma of killing me? Shit. Oh, in that one, shit. And that, shit. And then it's like, oh, crap. Well, now I feel like a dick. I mean, that'd fuck up anybody, right? What, you're saying that wouldn't fuck you up? I mean, it probably would. Check out the tweet. What's the tweet about? I don't want to accidentally put something on stream that gets us banned. Trial 2 is bread that you can't believe that it... Trial 2 is the present that you can't believe that it does exist. I think Subaru's 1, you can believe that it's possible if it's a continuation of a timeline that you died in. Because it's like, well, I'm showing you a glimpse of a timeline that you jumped out of. How can you deny its existence when you've been time humping for the past, I don't know how long? Yes, you didn't. It shows in season 1. You basically have no idea. Got it. I'm not sure what it is. I'll take a look at it later. Okay, so no one checked what the tweet was. Although I don't doubt you do it. Happy family. Zero. I see what you did there. Happy functional family with no trauma. Good one, Kuma. This is the wrong anime for that, isn't it? So yeah, this one was 90 minutes because of all the discussion, but the previous ones were pretty good for time, which is fair. But these episodes are dense. Second trial reflection? That's only significant, I believe, if you knew that she doesn't look at a reflection, which I didn't know up until now. So I think that's something only people that read the novels would find significant. Whereas someone watching the anime like myself is like, the fuck? That being said, these episodes are dense. Especially when you're touching on topics like people's traumatic experiences and potential futures. That's a very thick topic. It's like a thick cheesecake. You need water to wash it down. Mind you, it's a very tasty cheesecake. But it's very dense. And just like that, I'm craving cheesecake. Thanks, Kuma. You bastard. 3 episodes next week? No, we're watching one more. We're watching one more. Some people were telling me that your second viewing of ReZero is actually when you pick up most of it. That's what they say. That's what I read in the comments. And I'm like, I'll take your word for it because the rewatch value seems to be there considering the density of the episodes. And I think looking back after saying, for example, Goose, for example, watching season 1 and listening to his ramblings, which I can't even remember because I wrote them off as fucking crazy, would probably make more sense given the context of the memories that we see in season 2. And a lot of the statements made by Emilia in like episode 1 and 2 regarding Satella and what Puck says probably makes a lot more sense now that we know, Satella and Puck and all that sort of stuff. And I think at the same time, a lot of the stuff that Roswell says and Ram and all that sort of stuff will make significantly more sense now given the context. But at the same time, it's an experience to watch it the first time completely blank, go through that journey of thinking what's going to happen, then learning what happens, and then going back with context and seeing what happens, So I think if we ever do rewatch season 1, we should watch the director's cut. And again, I'm happy that I didn't go with the director's cut because it would have been too much. We are dissecting a 30-minute episode and let's face it, it's dense and there's a lot of discussion points. But if we were watching an hour version, I think my brain would turn off after a certain point and I would miss half of it. So I'm kind of glad we went with the 30-minute version. So if we ever do a rewatch of season 1, we should probably rewatch the director's version. You haven't really watched ReZero if you haven't rewatched it. Some anti-tuber. I think it was Mother's Basement. I don't even have a basement that I know of. Okay, quick little break, and then we are watching episode 48 because reasons. I'm going to go grab a little bit more coffee because I'm going to need it. A little bit more water because I'm going to need it. We're going to watch it, and then I'm going to crash, go to sleep, and go to work tomorrow. God bless lockdown. I don't waste 2 hours a day driving to and from work. I can wake up 15 minutes before work starts, drink a coffee, and start my meetings. Yay. This stream brought to you by COVID. That's fucked, but it's true. All right, let me grab a song for you guys.
Hey, did I hand you a shrinking potion by accident? I could have sworn that was the gender swapping one.
Don't be hating. She's fun size, that's all. She doesn't even have to get on her knees to blow.
You want to add anything to that conversation?
Nope, I'm good. In fact, I think your new size makes you an even more formidable and stealthy ninja.